I had a very unsuccessful marriage before and I was living alone with my 12-year-old son. I gave all my love to my son. I have lost my faith in marriage and have no intention of getting married again. Although it is hard to bring up my son alone, my son is very obedient, which makes me very happy. In order to make my son's life better, I found 2 jobs and I would often work late. One day after work, I was driving home, but on the way home I was in a car accident. I was driving tired and hit a big tree on the side of the highway. I hit my head on the steering wheel. I don't know how long it took, but I found myself in a dark place. I was surrounded by many spirits who walked without a purpose, like zombies. I saw a man to my right, whose face I could not see. I thought it was my dead grandfather. His clothes were very similar to the one my grandfather wore before, and he was leaning on a cane and wearing a duck cap. He told me I shouldn't talk to those people because they wouldn't pay attention to me. They weren't conscious, they just lived in a dream world. They walk like robots. It made me sad and I felt very sorry for them. Suddenly a bright light appeared in front of me, and it slowly became bigger and bigger, and it got closer and closer to me, as if that was where I was supposed to go. Then I stepped into the light. I saw a very beautiful little beach. There were many colors that I had not seen on Earth. The sand was very white and the sky and the water were very blue. They were all shining. I saw a screen in the air that showed a clip of my life. It played very quickly at first, and then more slowly. Some of them were things I had completely forgotten about. It felt like watching one of my own movies. It was amazing. I realized that I understood a lot of things, the answers were very clear, and some of the doubts I had before were answered. This was something I had never experienced before. I made my own choice to live the way I do now. I realized that I wasted a lot of time in my life. I came into this world by choice. And my life experiences were all designed before. I realize that it's not like what everyone says it is here. God does not judge or punish you. Here, it is only up to you to judge yourself. There is an island in front of the beach. At its peak, there was a very bright sun that spoke to me telepathically and made me understand everything about life. Suddenly, there appeared many people dressed in long white robes. They followed a man who carried a great light, who had a white beard, and whose robes were more beautiful than those of the others. They were floating on the calm sea, and they came to me. On his chest he wore a golden cross, and around the cross were golden circles, and he looked at me benevolently. At the end of the line was my dead father, who was also wearing a white coat, and I asked him telepathically, "Dad, what are you doing here? Have you been living here since you died?" He told me, "This is the real home. It is the final destination for everyone." This surprised me very much. My father said to me, "Your time is not up yet, you must go back, your son still needs your care." I was disappointed and said, "Do you know how hard my life is over there? I want to stay with you." At this point the bearded man touched my head and said, "We know all about you, I know you are not happily married, but everything will be fine." He showed me something. I saw the following scene. I was sitting on a rock that was between the beach and the sea. I was wearing a white tunic with glowing ornaments. I was surprised to see that I was pregnant, because my previous marriage was not a happy one. I had no intention of getting married again after the divorce. Suddenly out of the sea a man appeared. I could only see the upper half of his body. He was very fair-skinned and had very large eyes. He smiled at me and told me telepathically that he was my real husband and sent me his love. I felt infinite tenderness. This wonderful feeling enveloped me, and I heard a voice inside saying, "Through love, you will understand everything. Later you will get the answers you want." I felt that my life was going to turn for the better because I had a greater understanding of the meaning of life. Then I returned to Earth and I was back in my cramped body, which became quite unwieldy, and my mind, too, became very slow. I saw my family and friends. I told them what I had experienced and they looked at me in amazement as if I were crazy. I realized they didn't understand what I was talking about. Only I knew what I was going through.